It's easier than ever to know what other people think. We check online reviews before buying something, we look on social media for the news, and we pay attention to what our friends recommend watching on Netflix. In all these cases, we're relying on other people's opinions to help us make decisions, and this ability to learn from others is one of the things that makes humans so smart. Rather than figuring everything out from scratch, we can use other people's knowledge as a shortcut to truth. And one of the most powerful cues we use is consensus, when we see that lots of people agree about something. In my research, I study how people use social cues like consensus to guide our beliefs. Across many situations, we're highly persuaded when we see that lots of people agree. If a group of people online express the same opinion about a topic, we tend to assume that that view is probably right, especially if we don't know much about that topic to begin with. One way that my colleagues and I test this kind of thing is by putting people in a simulated social media environment where they see a bunch of posts that either reach a consensus about a particular topic or not. When we do this, we often see that a consensus is highly persuasive, regardless of the topic, regardless of who's reporting the information, and regardless of the primary evidence backing up the claim. Being persuaded by consensus is often a good thing. It allows us to learn quickly and efficiently without checking every fact ourselves. If many people reach the same conclusion, there's a good chance that there might be some truth to that conclusion, especially if they're unbiased, rely on different sources, or use different research methods. However, there are many situations where the appearance of consensus can be misleading, and we're not always very good at identifying those situations. For example, people are often poor at distinguishing between a consensus where everybody relies on the same primary source versus one where each person's view is backed up by a different primary source. This is problematic because it means we can be swayed by something that looks like agreement, even when that agreement isn't as strong or as trustworthy as it looks. If 10 people all share the same claim on social media, but they're all repeating it from the same podcast or influencer, that's not really consensus, it's just one idea echoed 10 times. Yet, to our minds, it still feels like powerful confirmation. We treat repetition as a signal for truth, especially when it is repeated by multiple distinct people. These kinds of social biases create openings for misinformation to spread, especially in modern times. Coordinated messaging, bots, or echo chambers can manufacture this kind of illusion of consensus, making fringe or false ideas feel widely accepted. When that happens, our normally smart social learning strategies can end up working against us. Ultimately, our tendency to learn from others is one of the reasons why humans are such a collectively intelligent species. It allows us to learn quickly, with minimal effort, build on others' insights, and advance far beyond what any one person could learn alone. But it also reminds us that being part of a smart collective means thinking carefully about who we agree with and why.